Well, here we are, day three, my goodness, of our C-Suite Network Corporate Coaching and Consulting Challenge. Oh my gosh. So, welcome back. Today is, my gosh, a powerful session. And thank you for being here. Thank you for making the time to be here. And also, this has been the feedback I've gotten is been phenomenal about how invaluable yesterday, the day before was. And I'm going to do a quick little recap for all of us. We're all coming into the room. Welcome, welcome. And I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching Consulting Council. So great to be hosting our program. And I've listed for you and shared with you, I have been a corporate coach for a very long time, since 1998. And I came from corporate. I was in tech. I was involved with three public offerings, three IPOs, essentially private companies that went public. And after I left corporate, I didn't need to work because when you go public and you're a one of the key employees, and you're in Silicon Valley, like it's a pretty good gig. And it took me a long time to get into that position, but I didn't need to work, but I felt like I wanted to. How many of you can relate? You have a vision, you have something in your life you want to express. And so little by little, I got a coach, of course, back in 1998 when coaching wasn't really a thing, and started to go back into to offer what I was doing while I was an employee and an executive with my sales teams and with my tech teams. I created a formula and a system and a model that then I went back into corporate and offered. And so over time, really slowly, surely, like one of my first clients was Walgreens in the Chicagoland area, and started working with Best Buy, State Farm, local companies, national companies, universities, all kinds of different companies, and started working with their teams and their leaders on a program that then I created called Team Intelligence that I've trademarked. So, and then over time, I now have a mentorship program that I'm getting ready to certify and launch as well for coaches to use. And so I have a lot of experience. And so I bring to you the real deal, the real world experience. Okay. So I want to get your voices in here in a moment, but just a quick little trip down memory lane. Hey, on Wednesday, my gosh, it seems like a week ago. For how many of you can you believe Wednesday? Today's Friday. It seems like it was a week ago on Wednesday. But day one of our challenge, we went in and we had a great discussion about what is it that corporations really hire? Why do they hire coaches and consultants? And we went into a lot of in depth about that, a lot of interactivity, a lot of discussion. Check the replay. And then we had a discussion about, hey, what is it that they really want and need? We talked about the three C's of corporate coaching, how to position yourself. And one of the most key things that you can go back on the replay and check out is your ROI statement, your return on investment statement, because corporations are looking for return on investment. So when you're a coach consultant and you can state that, we gave you a formula on how to do that, you will automatically raise your elevation, your prestige, your expertise by having that ROI statement. And then yesterday, I'm going to take myself off the slides here in a moment. Hey, what an incredible program yesterday was. Katie Thorstensen came, and she's a SHRM chapter president, Society of Human Resource Managers. She's a dear friend of mine for many, many years. She is an incredible chapter president, but she's also an executive in the company called Paycor. And so she's got her thumb on what's happening in corporations, small and large. And Katie came in and talked with us. Oh my goodness. And I want to pause here in a moment and rewind to what you got from yesterday. The chat blew up with questions and comments and affirmations for Katie's, but she talked about some really interesting, like inside baseball kinds of things about what she's seeing in corporate. That, hey, it's not like a talent shortage. They have a lot of people, but there's a skills gap. People need to be equipped for AI. They need to be equipped for a global business. They need to be able to adjust to tariffs, all kinds of things. And that's the opportunity of a lifetime for coaches and consultants. My gosh. She also talked about, hey, that, we don't need to have all of the degrees. Ladies, we don't need to have, the MCC after our name. That really real world experience, you bringing your life into your coaching and consulting engagements is key. So she talked about those things. We had a full hour discussion with Katie, also talking about, hey, that we have to help our colleagues, our clients, our customers, our partners. I don't like to call them customers because they're really our partners. We need to help them build the case and deliver measurable ROI. And we want to bring in, of course, relevance, credibility, and a relationship fit, a good vibe. So start with the relationship first and then build the contract from there. And of course, things that we already know, but Katie just beautifully reinforced it, is we've got to have more visibility in the marketplace and consistency and be able to tell the stories of our work that we've done in the world and any clients that we've had as well. We've got to be able to maintain top of mind positioning. Okay. And, that's hard if you don't have a corporate client, but through the work that we're doing in the Women's Coaching and Consulting Accelerator, we show you how to weave in your personal stories into stories that you can use in corporate. Okay. So I just want to pause here for a moment. Welcome everybody here. Yeah. So rewinding to Katie yesterday, was that phenomenal? I know you were all leaning in and watching and really talking. Love to recap kind of what were some takeaways that you had from yesterday, maybe a feeling, a vibe, something that she said, something that affirmed or maybe even challenged what you thought about corporate coaching and consulting. Jump in. Because you were just putting it all in the chat, ladies. It was pretty active yesterday. What was a takeaway as you remember from yesterday's program? She brought a nice Midwestern vibe, didn't she? She's from the Chicagoland area. It was super good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sonia, if you want to take yourself off mute, she was so responsive, wasn't she? And very affirming to you about sales teams and how to get in corporate, right?
Yeah, she was very in-depth, gave good answers and clarified things for me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Good. So
I really appreciated how she did talk about it's not just a list on a resume of credentials, but it really is what work experience may be more important because they've actually been in the office, they've had the field experience, whatever it is that makes them a contributor in a different way than the typical checklist.
Susan, thank you very much. And that especially with today's economy, the global market, and everything that's happening with business, with life, with personal, professional. And welcome, Audra. So glad you're here. You were so involved yesterday's call. It was great. That Katie really reinforced what we talked about really on Monday, which is equipping the workforce for the next millennial, the next year, the next 5 years, and that HR leaders and most executives in corporate, they aren't equipped to do it. They need expertise from the outside. Okay. And Cindy, we know that you are a negotiation expert. And so believe it when I tell you, they don't know how to negotiate. They don't know how to do things. They don't know how to when it comes to negotiation. They don't know how to negotiate contracts or negotiate things like, hey, what happens with a key employee when a key employee has an illness or an injury, or just the things that come up in business. So they need you and all of us more than ever before. So yeah, good. Any other insights or comments from yesterday or even the first day? It's been great. Thank you. Okay, so let's jump in and keep going. So is all about action. Okay, so today's focus, The first day we were working on your messaging, your ROI statement. Yesterday was what do corporations really want and what do they need? And today is all about action. How do you connect with decision makers in corporations? And I will tell you, in today's world, everybody who's an employee in an organization, they are a decision maker in some way or another. So never underestimate an employee in a corporation. And it can be a small, medium, or a large business, could be an association, could be an educational institution, a government institution. Everywhere you look, ladies, are corporations, are businesses. And it could be small, medium, or large businesses as well. It doesn't have to be the large, big fortune companies. It can be small businesses. Now, we're not talking in this conversation about solopreneurs or entrepreneurs. We're talking about businesses that generally have 50 employees and above, okay? Or associations that do as well. So I'm curious, when we're talking about corporate coaching and consulting, getting the contract, what would be, please put in the chat, I want to get a vibe here. What would be one action today that you could take, or something that you could learn today that would help you feel like, hey, I really had a breakthrough today? Okay, put it in the chat. What's an action that you think, hey, I really want to start doing this. I want to learn more about this. I want to understand this. Put it in the chat for me and we will go through that. Okay, so the key here is this is so simple to do, ladies. It's so simple to do. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to do, but I'm saying it's simple to do, okay? That you first start where you're at, okay? You know so many people in your network. You also know so many people in your friends, your colleagues, your family members, your past coworkers. You have people all around you that are in corporations, associations, organizations. You already know so many people. And I think putting on the lens today of, hey, I do know people, okay? Doesn't mean you have to go for the CEO, the top, the president of a company, but you can use what you're doing now to influence people at any level, okay? And utilize those great relationships that you already have. Because where it all starts, and this was reinforced by Katie yesterday, is start where you already have people in your world, in your orbit, that know you, like you, and trust you. Okay. So what I would do, and we're going to get very tactical here today, is to go on your LinkedIn, go on your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, wherever you're at, maybe even your TikTok, of course, and start putting together, do some research. Who are the people that you know that, oh, by the way, they have a corporate job? They're maybe in corporate, they're doing things in corporate, but you know them socially, but they also have a professional business. They're involved in corporations. So start thinking about, get your radar up of who do I already know that knows me, likes me, and trusts me, because referrals are incredible. We don't necessarily want to do cold calls. We don't want to be able to go into, our local area, although I do have a very powerful global strategy that I would love to share with you too, which is how do you incorporate global business with local people that you know? And it's kind of an advanced strategy, but it's who do you already know that's in your circle? Okay. So we want to get a list, start a list. Golly, you can use your Excel spreadsheet. You can put it on a sheet of paper. Just start thinking about who you already know, because that's where we want to go first. Okay. And of course, going in, and there's so much gold right in your backyard, ladies. This is where I started my business. When I came out to McHenry County, Woodstock, Illinois, from downtown Chicago 20 years ago, I had no local business. I didn't know anybody in my local area. And I live in a town now with 26,000 people. So I don't live in a big area. Yes, I'm close to Chicago, but I wanted to reinvent my business to have more of a local business. So I didn't need to be on planes, trains, or automobiles all the time. And that's why one of the reasons I left corporate is I was on a plane from Sunday night coming home on Friday, 3 weeks out of the month. And it was really, really, really tough. One of the reasons I just didn't want that life anymore. And so I started to look in my local area. I leaned on my husband. Who did he know? And my brother in law. Those were the only two people that I knew when I moved to Chicago. So literally, I had a network of two people. Okay. You can do this too. And again, you've got a bigger community, I'm sure, than 26,000 people. So start putting together your radar of, hey, are there some past clients that I worked with? Are there some past associations I belong to? Who are some former colleagues that I've had? What are the people that I know? Maybe some vendors that I've had, or maybe some peer networks that you've been involved with, or maybe even industry associations. And I will tell you, industry associations are phenomenal. Your local SHRM chapter, your local sales and marketing executives group, my goodness, your local insurance groups, your local, golly, even your local women's networking groups are phenomenal for finding people and looking for prospects. Okay. So I want to pause here for a moment and ask you, what are your thoughts about this? Maybe what have you used that has worked really well for you, kind of in a local kind of way? And, thinking about the gold mine that is right outside your door. So I want to stop here, get you talking and thinking. What has worked for you? What do you like to do? Susan, I'm going to lean on you a little bit. And Carol, I'm going to lean on you a little bit because you're doing this. You speak at SHRM chapters, you speak at associations, organizations. You're already doing this strategy because you're already in the Women's Success Accelerator. So I want to feature you. And of course, Molly Christensen is also phenomenal about speaking and speaking locally. You're using your speaking to be able to do all this. Yeah. Yeah. So take yourself off mute. Let's get your voices in here.
You
And we
know,
want to hear what you're
I,
doing.
I was not aware of a local chamber meeting that involved 3 or 4 different chambers coming together and introducing the newest city manager for Dallas. Now, is that a meeting I would have loved to have been at? Yes. And obviously, I wasn't paying attention to a lot of things because of other things going on. And it's staying aware of some of those things that sometimes can be the big difference. But today I've seen 2 or 3 different posts from individuals who were at that and making sure that I'm commenting on theirs, mentioning to them how great it was they had that exposure, uh, saying how wonderful it is to see that, I'd love to hear what their takeaway from that. It becomes an opportunity for you to engage with somebody about something that isn't calling them up to say, will you do business with me? But it's shining the light on them and their business. And then I frequently find from those things, somebody else will notice my comment and then ask, how did I know that person? Or what was it about that event that made me curious? It just becomes a way for you to get seen and heard, even if you've missed something.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Excellent. And building up, that's fantastic because isn't it always, we heard this from Katie, reiterated yesterday 1,000 times, and you all know this, it really is about relationships, isn't it? It's about who you know. And it's not, I mean, yes, it's about networking, but I'm going to give you here in a moment a strategy that has worked for me. I mean, it is the golden strategy. And I will tell you, I will sometime very, very soon trademark this in a way and start licensing it because it's a strategy that really works. And I'm going to be giving it to you today on how you can start having those conversations and set yourself up as the category of one expert. So people are calling you more than you are calling others. Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you. Great, great. Molly, want to jump in? Carol, want to jump in? What is working for you around, connecting with people? And Molly is our newest Women's Coaching and Consulting Council esteemed faculty member and Women's Success Accelerator woman. Thank you. Yeah, because you're really building your corporate business now in a very, very big way. You've already got a corporate business, but you're really building it up even more.
So, well, this morning I had a number of meetings, and what I've done, I was just looking for my list. I actually met with a group of people who I am going to say that they're advisors. And we came up with a list of businesses for me to reach out, and we identified what is the connection and how. And then we also came up with a list of nonprofits of where that makes sense. And to your point, Kathleen, is what are the partnerships and how can I support them? And it might be maybe at first I have to do something free, but at least but it's got to be a little bit of give and take. Like, I can do this for you for free. What can you give me some names, or can you bring the parents in or whatnot? So we've got, and then our next list, the other list these would be some hard ones, but let's be creative and let's think outside of the box. So and it was really nice to have people who, I had a nonprofit person and I had a corporate person. So it was really nice just to bounce it off of them and have them speak from that perspective of being business owners or running NPs. So that was that.
Great, 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 good. And by the way, we'll share in the Women's Corporate Coaching and Consulting Accelerator strategies on how to have an exchange of value, so that we're doing things in a complementary kind of way, exchange of value, and that they never perceive we do anything with the four-letter word, which is free. And I lovingly say that, see, because we've got this Midwestern nice going, we want to do stuff like this. And Molly, you and I know each other so well that I'm not criticizing you. That. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we want to have, I never want to have like, this, I want to have like this, so and there's strategies to do it. Yes, it's technically free, but like you said, there's an exchange of value and it's in the contract and in the agreement and it's set up from the very beginning. So, that fantastic for you. But look at what you're doing. You're getting out there, you're taking action, you're moving forward. It's great. And it is the exponential effect of all of this. Yeah.
Thank you, Kathleen, for calling me out on the free, especially, I've got that giving heart for the NPs. So I appreciate you saying I don't have to be free for the NPs. Thank you.
Thank you. And you know what? Hey, thanks for being so open, Molly. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very good. That's right. That's right. Hey, that's it. Yes. Yeah. I do many things for free, but I always call it complimentary, and I always call it an exchange of value. And so, but I love your mindset about this, and I think we could all take this on. More of a mindset is, hey, I'm willing to give, but also what am I getting in return, of course, and what can I contractually agree to as well. So yeah, looking at the long term. Yeah. And I shared on Wednesday that it was a strategy that I use right now all the time, doing a speaking engagement for free. It was a nonprofit organization in my community. And yes, I did not get compensated, but I got some other things in exchange, which was great. That then led to two people in the audience that literally that day hired me as their VIP coach and executive in a incredible company in the Chicagoland area. And he's now moved on to other businesses, keeps calling me as an executive coach. The second opportunity literally that day was for a local company that literally has like tripled in size. When I started working with them, I think they had about 300 employees, and now they're well over 1,000 employees in my community. And the executive that hired me back 10 years ago is now moved. She's moved 3 different companies. Now she's hired me to work with her and her company on a mentorship initiative within this Fortune 100 company that is absolutely exciting. So the point is staying in touch, nurturing, and it all starts with something very, very, very small that you can, with the right strategies, be able to blossom into something really, really exciting. And so, can you imagine how wonderful it is to get the call from this particular woman to say, Kathleen, we haven't talked in a couple months, but I just want to tell you that that I'd like to start this new initiative, and here's what it would look like. And I then ask her, hey, are you going to be going out to bid for this, or will this be a sole source? And she says, absolutely sole source. Kathleen, I would never think of hiring anyone else but you. So I got to get that in a testimonial, but you can have the same thing. You can have the same thing. And I like to say it's not only a sole source, SOLE, it's a SOUL source. Yeah. Yes. Good. Yes. Sonja, jump in. I want to get your voice in here. You got a great question in the comment here, in the comments in the chat. Jump in.
Yes, you've just like literally a minute ago said something, start with something small. And does that mean for free? Like you saying you were
Could
doing a
be.
speech for free? Is that small? I don't know what
Yes.
small
Oh,
means.
yeah. 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 Thank you. Sonja, great question. Eh, Start where you are. Start where you are. This can be, and we'll talk a little bit about this in a moment, but start with a conversation about, hey, I do a leadership for sales executives, or I do a leadership for sales teams, a little lunch and learn. A tip that you're not going to read anywhere, but I'm going to give this tip to all of you because I want you to be successful in this, is with the return to work, the return to office initiatives. You know what I'm talking about. Corporations are now bringing their employees back in after COVID. They've got all this office space they have to fill, and they want to be able to bring people together. They've got to be able to reconnect people after COVID. Here we are 5 years later, but they've got to get their culture back. Okay. They're looking for people like you and me to come in and build a esprit de corps, build a sense of connection. So you coming in and doing a lunch and learn, you can do it over Zoom if you want to, but physically going into your local. And I love a strategy for you, for all of you. It's worked for me. It's golden. 100-mile strategy. You don't need to be on planes flying to the West Coast and the East Coast and the North and the South. You can do that, but think in 100-mile radius. Molly, you've got a gold mine in South Dakota and Sioux Falls. Um, Certainly, Susan, you've got a gold mine in Dallas. Carol Kammerer, you've got a triple gold mine in Minneapolis. Cindy Watson in Toronto, you've got a triple, quadruple gold mine. Jillian in the Northeast, you've got so much. You've got so much. So all of us, we have the gold mine in our backyards.
So
And
if
so,
you,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, thank
but
you.
if you look
Yeah,
at your experience, because obviously you've had decades, what has been the most effective small thing that you've done?
yeah. The most effective small thing that I've done is a lunch and learn.
Okay.
A lunch and learn. Yeah.
And
Coming
that's like an
in.
hour, is that correct? Because
Yeah,
obviously,
it's perfect.
okay.
It's an hour. It's an hour you get to present, you get to talk about a topic that listen, there are some eternal and evergreen topics that every organization needs to know about. And we talked a little bit about that, is about client attraction, retention, how to keep your motivation high when the world is in chaos. Thinking about what's your offer, and then how can you have literally 5 different titles of workshops. So connecting with a decision maker or someone in an organization, again, from your warm list, who do you know? It's like, hey, I do a little lunch and learn topic on X, Y, or Z. Which of these topics, would be interesting to you? I'd love to come in and do that. My gift from me to you. And then you start the ball rolling, because guess what? You have unearthed, ladies, the hunger in the company for more learning, for more growth, more opportunities. And we just need one advocate. Okay.
Yeah,
We just need
that's
one
very useful.
advocate. Yeah.
Thank you. So when
Great.
you give them the list, do you give them, because obviously you don't want to overwhelm them with too much choice. Do you give them 3 options or 5 topics? What has
Yeah.
been, what's
Would
the
say
norm?
3 to 5. I would
Three
say
to
five
five?
would be really
Okay,
nice. Yeah, yeah. And then,
awesome.
once you get the relationship going and you learn, I'm going to give you a strategy here in a moment of what you can do, but we want to find out what's happening in the company, what's going on, what are their challenges, what are their opportunities, what's their strategic plan for the next year,
Yeah.
and thinking about what's happening in the world, like, hey, how are tariffs handling? How are you handling tariffs in your company? What's happening with, my gosh, motivation, inspiration, focus, and so thinking about what your offer is and then all of the how-tos that go along with your offer. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And then, obviously there can be a conversation about an exchange of value. It's like, listen, I'd like to come in and do this. They agree and say, hey, what are your customary fees for hiring an outside speaker? Okay, so that's a writer down. What are your customary fees for hiring an outside speaker? And so you can certainly get some compensation for this, but
Yeah.
but I like to play the long game. And how many of you are interested in playing the long game with some short-term income? Okay, we want the long game, but we want to be able to, we just got to get in, ladies. We got to get in.
Exactly.
If we spend time thinking about strategizing, planning, all this kind of stuff, it's important, but you got to get in the inside. Okay.
Yeah.
You can only get in the inside if you're in the inside, right?
Yes.
And then you start talking to people. Hey, what's happening? What's going on? Building the know, like, trust factor. Okay. All right. So I want to pause. What's
Thank you.
emerging? Yeah. What's the going rate for lunch and learns? Conservatively, $1,000 would be very customary. Completely. Yep. Short and long programs. Yep. Customary fees for hiring an outside speaker. Gosh, $1,000 to $3,000 is very, very easy. And I also want to share with you, and you're not going to really hear this other places, but you're hearing it because I have real world experience. We know what's happening is all of the DEI funds. Now lean into this, ladies. I really want you to lean in here. This is an advanced strategy. And everybody watching our replay, I'm going to gift this to you. All of the DEI strategies, corporations, associations, organizations, education, government have reduced or modified their DEI strategies. Okay. And we know this. All right. We can stay off the political spectrum on whether that's right or wrong. That's another topic. Guess what? Those funds have to go somewhere. Okay. They have to go somewhere. So they are moving those funds into education, growth, motivation, constant ongoing learning and knowledge for their employees. Okay. So those funds are sitting there waiting for you to come in and to encumber and to capture and to help them with. Okay. I'm hoping that's a little exciting for you. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So let's pause. What's emerging for you? Because then I'm going to jump in and give you a really, really rock solid, awesome strategy on how to connect and position yourself as the thought leader you are. So what's coming up for you? What's emerging? What are you getting? And as a coach, I know I just stacked the questions and we don't like to do that, but I'm doing it today. Yep. Stacking questions. Jump in, take yourself off mute, raise your hand. Yeah, please. Molly, thank you.
Listening to this and thinking back about those lunch and learns, working with schools, if there's opportunities for me to step into study halls, and now like thinking and brainstorming ideas of how different ways of partnering with schools. So that's what's coming for me.
Love it. Love it. And the teachers and the faculty and the academicians in education are crying out for you, ladies. They want what you know. They want to have an outside perspective. They need compassion, understanding, and growth. Those people who are not growing, we know are going to be left behind. And so the organization knows, we heard this from Katie yesterday, you know this, it is so expensive to find and hire a new employee, that it's much more effective to keep an employee and to grow that employee. And so that's the goal there is rather than going out and trying to find new talent, no, let's nurture the talent already in our organization. Okay. That's why you are so critical to all of this. You are critical. Yep. Thank you very much, Molly. Yes. Who else? What's coming up for you? What's your thought process? Where do you see the opportunities here? Jump in. Mary, I can always count on you. Cindy, always count on you. Jillian, always count on you. Carol, and of course, Audra and Susan. What's coming up? I hope you're excited about this because I'm like, I can't wait to get done with our webinar, sorta, loving this, but I'm thinking, all right, who am I going to start talking to today Friday's a great day to talk to people, ladies. Friday's a great day. They're generally working from home. It's a great way to connect. Today's a catch up day for most employees. Okay. It's a beautiful day for doing this. Okay. Thank you. Coming over to you. What's emerging? What's coming up? What are you thinking?
So I was surprised to hear you, Kathleen, talk about that those funds for DEI still are hanging around someplace. That's a good thing to know.
Thank you, Carol. Yes. And of course, with your executive revolution for executives, all about transforming executives' perspectives. My gosh, the timing of this is fantastic. To be able to have executives think, all right, well, what's next for me? And how can I get myself ready for what's next? And certainly, we heard this from Katie yesterday, partnering with recruitment companies, with talent companies, you partnering with people who already have your ideal clients, setting up an alliance. Katie is doing that beautifully, and it's so very, very powerful. So a takeaway from yesterday, really great. Yeah, thank you. Great. Who else? Carol, thank you. Who else? What's coming up for you? Don't make me sit here by myself, ladies.
So
Thinking. Yeah.
what's coming up for me is I'm just like, okay, who am I going to reach out to who's on my list and
Very
really
good.
strategizing the kind of conversation. And there's a part of me, to be honest, that feels like, am I ready? Am I ready for this? And so I'm contending with that a little bit. So there's
Yeah.
a little bit of imposter syndrome happening. But then it's just like have the conversation and kind of build the bridge as you walk. It's kind of that kind of thing happening. So, because I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist, I want everything to be perfect, but I'm just like, sometimes you just have to go.
Audra, thank you. Thank you. And let's lean in, give some sparkle to Audra. Thank you. Hey, I think when you spoke out loud, what many of us think, is, maybe I'm just not ready yet. And hey, and so I want to give you a strategy here in a moment that works every time you use it. Okay. This is literally, I promise you, this is a $1 million plus strategy that I use all the time, and I'm gifting it from me to you. And so if you follow the strategy, this works. Okay, so let me jump in. Good. Anything else before we get over to that? Okay, you're leaning to go, Kathleen, give me that strategy. I want that strategy. Okay. So here we go. All right, this is the golden, I'm not kidding you, the $1 million plus strategy. This is the corporate coaching and consulting success script. Say that about 10 times. Okay. And this is a way for you to position yourself as the expert, as the category of one, as the thought leader, at the same time, positioning yourself and getting in the right relationship with people that are your potential ideal clients. Okay. So this is a strategy you can use for people I would say with your warm market. Start with people, go through your LinkedIn and find out like who do you know that's in corporations, and I assure you, they can be at any level. All right. They can be in at every level. I would highly recommend don't go for, perhaps the CEO or the president of a company when you're first starting out. Start with someone that that maybe is at a manager level or a director level or people that you know. Okay. So take this script. And by the way, as a follow up, I'm going to send you this. No worries about this. I'm going to send this to you as one of the bonuses from our challenge. Okay. I'll send this to you in a script so you can use this. If you want to take screen captures, it's cool, but I will be sending this to you. Okay. So get your list together of 10 or 15 or 20. 20 is optimum. People that you know, okay, people that know you, like you, and trust you, and that hey, they work in corporation, they work in business, that type of thing. And what you want to do is schedule a few minutes with them, and here's what you send them. You either call them or you send them a text or send them an email. And you warm it up like, hi, Susan. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Bill. Hi, Bob. Okay. Hey, hope you're well. And I'm doing some research, and I'm just going to read this because it's so very fundamental and it's so powerful. Hey, I'm doing some research on, let's just say, I'm doing some research on, small businesses. What kind of business is, what type of company is your person in your warm market? Maybe they're in manufacturing, maybe they're in healthcare. And again, think about where you have experience, where you want to work. Okay. What kind of companies you'd like to work with. All right. Small businesses, medium sized businesses, companies in your local company, in your local area. I would say, hey, I use this all the time. I'm doing some research on companies in McHenry County, Illinois. Again, we have 350,000 people in our entire county. All right. So we're not a big county, but that's one thing that I could use. Hey, I'm not getting into the details about financial services or manufacturing. No, I'm doing some research on companies on the northeast of the United States or in the northeast of Canada, whatever it may be. Okay. And I'm wondering if you would speak with me for just about 15 minutes. I have some questions I'd like to ask you. Okay. Make this your own or just use it as is. Okay. Invariably, I promise you, if they know you, like you, and trust you, they will respond. Okay. So warm up the relationship. Send them, hey, I was thinking about you. I'm making a little pivot in the work that I'm doing. I'm starting to focus in more of my consulting business. You don't need to get into more detail than that, okay? Because this is not a prospecting call, ladies. This is a get the call set up. This is building the relationship. Okay. Then you go in and I promise you, they're going to say, sure, be glad to do it. All right. So then you schedule the call, and this is a call for understanding. All right. And you jump on the call. Okay. And you say, hi, Joanne, hey, I just wanted to, connect with you, do a little warm up of the conversation first. You're on the phone. You don't need to do this on Zoom. You can just do it on your cell phone. And so you just have a conversation about, hey, thanks for taking a few minutes. I'm doing some research about XYZ, or I'm doing some research about, about medical device companies, or I'm doing some research about companies in Northern Illinois or Dallas or whatever it is. Okay. Genuinely be for real on this. Okay. No messing around. And I'd love to hear your insights as I'm building and expanding my strategy business. Okay. Part of the conversation. Okay. And of course, they're going to say, sure, glad. What's on your mind? Again, they know you, like you, trust you, and they know you're not going to waste their time. So this is where you're using this script to connect. Okay. And you just say, hey, just curious, what do you see are the biggest challenges facing companies or schools or education or government or whatever it is? What do you see are the biggest challenges that's happening in your industry? Or fill in the blanks. What do you see are the biggest challenges facing companies now in Northern Illinois or Canada or whatever it is? Okay. Customize this for you. All right. And I'm just wondering, do you see that happening with your company, the company that you're with? Are they kind of dealing with the same thing? And so you just listen and you ask questions and you just kind of understand, get over in their world. What are they dealing with? I assure you, they will talk your ear off about what are the challenges, what's happening. Hey, good golly, the tariffs are just causing so much confusion. We don't know kind of where to go. You're not asking them to reveal inner company secrets. No, no, no. We're just asking them just general things. Okay. And then you can ask, thank you. I love this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. That's right. I love this. And has your company, just kind of curious, has your company invested? You ask them, you get all of their responses. Oh yeah, I'm hearing that. Oh gosh, interesting. You're taking notes fast and furiously. Okay. And then the question is, hey, I'm curious, has your company invested in bringing outside specialists or experts to help? Okay. You don't necessarily, you can say coaches and consultants if you want to, but I'm just curious, has your company brought in anybody these things? Because we know they don't generally have the inside talent that they need to be able to solve these problems. If they did, ladies, they wouldn't have the problem. Okay. So you are the solution, right? You are the solution. All right. And then finally, and I'm going to pause. I want to get your point of view on this. And we're going to wrap up here in a moment, but you then thank them. Oh my gosh, thanks for taking the time to talk with me. This could be a 15-minute conversation, ladies. This is not an hour conversation. This is quick. What are some of the things that you're seeing that are happening? Okay. Then you thank them. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thanks for taking the time to talk with me. And I'm just kind of curious, could I reconnect back with you to share the findings of the research that I'm doing? Because I'm doing research about this. Oh my gosh, they're going to absolutely say, yeah, I can't wait to hear more about this. And you thank them. You then compile all of the research. You're taking detailed notes. You keep them in a spreadsheet. And then you're kind of rating the urgency. What did you hear from them that was like so urgent? Okay. And important about this? Rank those. These are kind of some advanced tips, of course. And then sit down and think about, hey, how can I help the company solve these top issues? What is it about my negotiation skills? What is it about my sales training program? What is it about my humanitarianism? How can I help them have greater visibility on LinkedIn? How can I help them with team building? All these things. Then what you do is you reconnect with the people that you spoke to. Put together a white paper, ladies. Hey, you never name names about who you talk to or companies, but guess what? You are the expert now. Okay. You're the expert. You can publish that white paper now on LinkedIn that you recently did a survey and you spoke with decision makers in companies about this, this, and this. And here's what we learned. Never name names, okay? Or even identifying information. All right. So from there, oh my gosh, reconnect with the people. Tell them that, hey, I put together a white paper. Would you like to get it? And they're going to say, oh my gosh, of course. Guess what? You get to say, hey, why don't we schedule an appointment where we can kind of talk about what could be next? Because I have some solutions that I'd like to talk with you about. Hey, maybe it's a pilot program, it's a project, maybe it's a retainer, maybe it's a workshop series. It's one of these things. Okay. Build the relationship first, ask the questions, become the category of one thought leader. All right. So I want to pause here. I hope you're excited about this because this is a $1 million strategy right here. And I will share with you, few people are doing it. Okay. So when this works for you, I would love for you to do a little post and say, thank you, Kathleen, for this advanced strategy. I would love a little shout out because it works every time it's tried. Okay. Great. So questions, comments, things that you're thinking about for a moment, put aside any sort of, who am I to be doing this? What's my credentials? That no, you're asking questions. You're getting closer to people who have big, expensive problems that you can solve. Okay. And if you don't know how to solve them, get in community with people like the Women's Corporate Coaching and Consulting Accelerator, where we do this. This is the stuff that we do. Yeah, great. Sonja, jump in, dear. Thank you. And we're going to complete here in just a few
Very
moments.
good stuff. I'm happy to give you a shout out when it works. I'll be doing that. Quick question. How can you figure out what their going rate is for paying coaches to solve the problems that they have? How do you figure
Beautiful.
that one out?
Very, very great question. Okay. Couple strategies that you can use. The number one strategy, which is so easy, is you ask them, what do you normally compensate coaches and consultants for to do this kind of work?
Oh, great.
What have you paid other consultants or experts to support you in solving these problems, issues, opportunities? What have you paid in the past? What's your customary rate that you pay? They have a customary rate. And if you are in that rate, you're going to be golden. Okay. Might even get a little bit of additional upsell on that type of thing. You can do that. But
Excellent.
that's one way to do it. Finding out what kind of budget, and we give you about 10 other strategies to find out what the rates are. and to start establishing kind of what's the customary rate, but then what's your rate? How can you add more value to that rate? Okay,
Yes.
good. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
beautiful,
you.
beautiful. Hey, why rock the boat? Let's just go with the easy way to do it, right? And because fees, ladies, fees are all over the map. Fees are all over the map. And where you start is not where you will end up. Okay, I assure you. Good, 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 good. Susan, thank you. Quickly jump in and we're going to complete our time.
To add to that, Sonia, you can go ahead and do some searches online for what are typical rates.
Sure.
And that can give you a great comparison starting point. However, I've sometimes encountered somebody who says they don't want to tell me their budget, they want my price. So I will say my going rate is this. Can you tell me if this is within your budget? And if
Great.
not, then give me your fee that you're willing to pay and maybe we can negotiate. So that if they do go, oh, I don't pay that, you can then talk to them about why that's of value and find out what they're willing to pay and say, you know, I might be able to still work with you and give you some great things within the price that you're willing to spend. So that way you get an option to say, I'm worth X amount without expecting that that's what you're necessarily going to get paid, and that they're being cautious because they're hoping they can save some money too.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you, Susan. And what we also revealed with Susan's generous sharing is, guess what? They do have a budget. They know what the number is. They just want you to move first, right? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's the first negotiation there. So yeah, yeah, great. And when you build a relationship, this becomes a flow. Okay, there's no need for any sort of hard negotiation. And I'm just advocating to each of you, start where you are. Just start where you are, okay? And you'll be able to build from there. But we need to get the clients going so you get the testimonials, you get the experience, you get the confidence that, yes, I can do this, okay? Start where you are, all right? So thank you, thank you. Loved all this sharing. And hey, many of you are saying, hey, it's time for me to go. Okay. For many, all of you, and congratulations. You've been here for our 3 sessions. Even if you've been here for 1 of 3 or been through all of 3 or 2 or 3, whatever it is that we've talked about clarity. We've talked about how to do this. I've given you a golden, fabulous, multi-million dollar, I'm upping it now, strategy on how to connect with people and how to be the thought leader. But now it's time to accelerate, okay? Because if you are not getting into corporate coaching and consulting with clients, you're leaving money on the table and you've got to go now, okay? So because of that, with your permission, I'd like to quickly tell you there's the Women's Corporate Coaching and Consulting Accelerator. And in this particular program, we help you start, launch, and grow and scale your corporate coaching and consulting business. And everything that you need to know on how to get into corporate, stay into corporate coaching, and to excel and thrive. And ladies, we just know that life coaches make a certain amount of money, generally under 100,000 US dollars. Corporate coaches are 100,000 plus, very, very, very easily. Okay. And I shared with you literally just a couple of weeks ago, I signed a corporate contract. It was 1 year's worth of income in 1 day. Okay. 1 year in 1 day. So this is possible for you. And you can invest the next 6 months in trying to figure it out yourself, doing things on your own, or you can accelerate, because the sooner you get your first client, the sooner you're able to get your second client and to be able to get your third client. And so you can spend time figuring it out. But I highly recommend that you consider joining us in the Women's Corporate Coaching and Consulting Accelerator. We show you how to develop internal masterminds, how to develop internal councils, how to set up a mentorship program. Mentorship is triple, quadruple hot right now. I will show you how to do it step by step by step, how to succeed, how to set up all the funnels, how to monetize your intellectual property so you can work smarter, not harder. And of course, just everything that you need in order to jump in and start getting your corporate clients now. Okay. I assure you that I absolutely promise you, because my current clients will tell you, I will double down and triple down on my support of you. You will get a new corporate coaching or consulting client conservatively within 60 to 90 days. You'll absolutely be able to do that. Okay. You'll be able to get your first gig. So the doors are now open. I would like to invite each of you to let's have a strategy call. Let's talk about a profit planning strategy call. We'll talk about what are your plans, what's your approach, and we'll talk about how to accelerate it. And if it's a fit for you to come join us, I'd love to extend an invitation for you. We are an invitation kind of community. We do not pressure people. We're like, hey, if this fits for you, you want to go fast and further, come join us. Okay. So take an action, book a time with me. It's just so simple. It's calendly.com, Kathleen Caldwell. Let's schedule a call. We'll put together a mini plan and we'll talk about what could be next. Okay. So as we complete, thank you. Schedule your call. What's your biggest takeaway from our time together? Oh my gosh, it's been so rich and beautiful. Just give me a couple sentences. What's been your biggest takeaway? And I hope one of the biggest takeaways is I can do this. I can do this. I want to do this and I can do this. So take yourself off mute. Give me a little bit of feedback on what's your biggest takeaway from our time. Carol, thank you.
I enjoyed your strategy on I'm doing research. And
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
it
Yeah,
is a
thank
lovely
you.
way to begin a conversation.
It really is. Yeah, thank you, Carol. That's great. And guess what? Your esteem for them, that you're asking them questions, you're setting them up as a thought leader themselves. It's a very esteem forwarding philosophy. There's no sales, there's no pushy. It's just relationship building. Thank you, Carol. Really great. Good. Who else? What's your biggest takeaway? And by the way, thanks for taking the script down here, Carol. That's great. Thanks in the chat. That's great. Good. Sonja, jump in.
I'm going to echo what Carol said, and I think one can actually probably take it further and even use it with cold outreach.
Exactly. Yeah,
It
that's it.
lends itself to that as well. So thank you. That's excellent. And as I said, I'm happy to give you the shout out.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good, good, good. I hope you'll come and join us. We'd love to have you get into sales teams and sales organizations. They're waiting for you. They're absolutely waiting for you. Yeah, good. Audra, thank you. Jump in.
Yeah, I have to hop off because I
Go ahead.
have a
Welcome to
meeting, but
Complete.
I just want to say thank you so much. Like you just with the whole white paper approach, it just feels more organic, natural.
Yes,
It doesn't feel salesy or weird. And
right.
so I just appreciate all of that. So thank you so much, Kathleen.
You're welcome. Thanks, Audra. Book a time with me. Love to learn more about what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Good. How about anybody else? Biggest takeaway from our time together? Jillian, jump in. I want to get your voice in here, girl.
I really appreciate this and all
Thank you.
the tactical level things you can do. I think that's actually something really hard to find, and it's not necessarily given. I mean, even if you're in networking groups with people that are experienced in working with corporate and you like somebody like me who has like a clear history of working in corporate that would do a good, like people still don't offer that.
Of course.
So it's so invaluable to get tangible, actual tips to use. So I'm very thankful for this. So
Thank you. Thank you, Jillian. That's right. Yeah, your corporate clients are waiting for you. They for sure are. They need to have the rigor and the analysis and the data, and they need to make decisions. And you're the perfect person to take them there.
Kathleen, what's
Sure.
wonderful is each day you give us a nugget or two, and instead of feeling overwhelmed by it, I think you put it together in a way that becomes digestible to put into action and walk away from 3 days going, okay, now I can do something.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Susan. Thank you. Great. Good. Well, ladies, thank you. Book your time, calendly.com, Kathleen Caldwell. Let's have a conversation. And with that, lots of love to each of you. Thanks for investing your time. I know it was worth it. Let's get going. Our corporate people, our tribe, our community, they are waiting for us. Okay. Let's get them served. Okay. So bye for now. Kisses and hugs to you. Let's do it. Okay. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you. Thanks.